What's going on, everybody? This is On the Mark with Marcus Washington, where we talk everything Falcons football. And listen, man, this is going to be a rant video. Um, I can't call it anything else. This is going to be. At this point, I think Atlanta is throwing games. At this point, I believe Atlanta is throwing games. I'm not saying this because this is my team. This has been my team because since I was a little kid. I'm saying Atlanta's throwing games now because there is no way in fuck you call that play with the yardage, with that team having no timeouts, and you not trusting Marcus Mariota all season. Now, all of a sudden, you want to trust Marcus Mariota. Bro, listen, if this was Arthur Smith's third year, this would be a fireable offense. People would be calling for his job. I'm gonna keep it real, man. I know we're in a rebuild, fam, but only Atlanta loses games like this. Only Atlanta loses games like this, bro. Only Atlanta loses games like this. This is becoming a reoccurring theme no matter who we have as a quarterback, no matter who we have as a coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the same results. Just Gil says he can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Cause I'm gonna cook for a second. Let me know if y'all can hear me real quick. Cause I can hear myself in the headphones. If this was Arthur Smith's third year, he'd be fired. He'd be fired. I'm sorry. He would be fired. His rationale I don't even want to hear why he decided to call this play when he called it. It was fucking stupid. Your team, let me look at these stats, man. Let me look at these stats. Whew. I'm trying to keep myself composed so I don't give myself a fucking stroke. So the final stats, man. Hold on. Let me get the team stats here. Atlanta rushed for 168 yards. At one time, Atlanta was getting 7 yards per carry. But Atlanta on the take. For whatever reason, Atlanta's throwing games. They're throwing games. Just Gil, I don't know why you can't hear anything, man, but other people are saying they can hear me. And I'm sitting here defending Arthur Smith. I'm defending him for keeping Dean Pease, who should have been fired. Defense, ass again. I know people look at the points. Oh, man, they only scored 19. Bruh, at one point in time, when it was 10-10, the score was tied 10-10. This defense was literally standing around while plays were happening. This defense had clocked out on Dean Pease. Guys are running open in this zone. You can't get any pressure. And it's rinse, wash, repeat. We know exactly what defense is going to be played. No surprises, no nothing. Dean Pease sticks with him. Okay, cool. People are calling for Desmond Ridder because, as you see, Marcus Mariota is basically a third-string running back twilighting or moonlighting as a quarterback. Let's look at Mariota's numbers. I'm not really gonna chew into him like I want to, man, because we get what we get from him. This was actually a pretty decent game for him. He was 15 of 25 for 173 yards. So again, we're talking about 3 or 4 straight weeks where Marcus Mariota hasn't thrown for 200 yards. But bruh, this out of all the game, fam, I'm not even exaggerating. It's been a minute. This was the worst way we have lost in about 4 years. They have no timeouts. It's second down. You're averaging 7 yards a touch. And your play call was for Marcus Mariota to throw the ball. Now I'm looking at Arthur Smith like, bruh, you might not be the guy. You might not be the guy, fam. Because we've seen idiotic play calling on your watch. My goodness, bro. Whoo. And this was a very winnable game. Why you decide to throw the ball right there? That kind of usurps every other play that happened in this game. I can't at this point, fam. Hold on, let me turn this up a little bit. I'm gonna turn this up and I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. At this point, why not put in Desmond Ridder? I mean, at this point, why not put him in? He's been stubborn every step of the way when it comes to this team. Defense playing like trash? Well, we're going to keep Dean Pease. I mean, you know, I did bring him up off the couch, and our defense has been ass for the last 2 years, but hey, you know, we're still going to ride with him. Hey, the Marcus Mariota experience is over. The experiment's over. You know what you're getting with him. Nah, I'm going to stick with him. Desmond Ridder isn't ready. Hell, Marcus Mariota ain't ready. But you see these numbers? I got people on Facebook talking about Marcus Mariota isn't inaccurate. Bruh, he's been inaccurate his whole career. He's definitely been inaccurate this year. Now, there have been some drops. You're going to have drops with every team. But, bruh, there's a reason why we're running the ball so much. That's what makes that play so maddening. Arthur does not trust this guy throwing the ball. So why would you trust him with the game? Bruh. Ooh. Arthur on the take, bro. Arthur got to be on the. He got to be on the take, bro. He got to be on the take. This man's got to be gambling on games like Calvin Ridley was. He got to be. Because even analytically, it don't even make sense. It don't even make sense. You run the ball on third down. The clock's running. It's 4 down territory any damn way. Why are you trying to score with a minute and change left when your defense is butt cheeks? You're only going to go up a point. You run the clock down, and whatever happens, God damn it, it happens. If we do not get it, we got 3 timeouts. They got the ball on the 2-yard line. Y'all explain to me on what planet that play call by Arthur Smith made any sense. It made no sense. You can't get mad at your offense. You can't get mad at your defense. You can't get mad at your offensive line. You can't get mad at your quarterback. That was your dumbass call. In a winnable game. That's game right there. Bruh, you're averaging 7 a clip. What are you... Bruh, listen. I know that team probably was sitting on the sidelines. They looked directly at Arthur Smith. Like, really? And Arthur did this before last year. Y'all remember the game where Matt Ryan was cooking? And then in the fourth quarter, Arthur Smith said, nah, we don't need you to throw the ball anymore. And we lost that game too. Bro, I'm sorry. I've at this point, with this play call, I do not trust this coach. Based on the fact that Mariota's still the quarterback. Dean Pease is still the defensive coordinator. You've done nothing to move Dean Pease off this trash-ass defensive scheme. You don't trust Marcus Mariota. So now I just got to look at you as you being bipolar as a coach. You haven't trusted Marcus Mariota all year. But in a game where you're literally running the ball down this team's throat, you say, hey, Marcus, I'm going to put it on you. With a minute and like 30 left on the clock, bro. When your defense is ass. So if Washington gets the ball back, there's probably a chance they're going to get in field goal range, which means they're going to win the fucking game anyway. Even the analytics don't even make sense. You run this clock down. If you do not get in the end zone on 4th down, you got them on the 2 with 3. Man, bro, listen, I can't even explain this, man. Y'all know it was an idiotic call. Jack says, I will say he completes that pass as a TD. It's Mariota, bruh. Mariota shouldn't have even been in that position to throw the ball anyway. Now I'm putting everything on Arthur Smith. Playoff one aside. Last week's show, I did misspeak. I said if it were to end today, we would be in the playoffs. I was wrong. Now we ain't even talking about playoffs, bro. I said this team will win 7. If they win 7 games, they overachieved. But I mean, with idiotic coaching like this, bro. Oh my God. And they're gonna rip them a new asshole come next week. Come tomorrow. Trust me. When Sports Talk starts talking about this game, they are literally going to be ripping Arthur Smith to shreds because there is literally no reason to call a pass play in this situation. None. Jack says, hold on, bro. The Bucks and Browns are in OT. Man, we're not making the playoffs, fam. I'm just going to go ahead and break that down to you right now. That play call looks like, okay, we're going to win the game. Let me come up with a play that costs us. I mean, bruh. If I'm in that locker room right now, man, I'm not kidding. I know, players usually don't go off on coaches, but I'm checking my coach. I'm checking him. We get in the locker room and we sit down. I'm like, bro, what the fuck were you thinking? What were you thinking? And if me and coach get into war words, so be it. You cost us the game. You literally cost us the game. If we run it twice and don't make it, you know what? We'll go out on our shield, man. Ain't no shame in that. We're averaging 7 yards a clip, and they stopped us on 2 plays, man. You know what? I'll take that and say, hey, man, I'll shake the opponent's hand. Hey, good game. But I'm at a point now, man, where we know Arthur Blank likes to stick with guys for 5 years before he even makes a decision. We know Malarkey. We know all these other guys. So he ain't going nowhere, man. But I just, at this point, if you almost got to give the fans Desmond Ridder at this point for this play. Because I'm still trying to figure out what is it that Mariota does that Ridder can't do. You know Mariota's not going to be our starter next year. So what is going on here? This whole thing is maddening to me. Next week, Ritter should be starting. Mariota is literally a third string running back. When that first read ain't there, he immediately starts panicking and starts scrambling. Now, Mariota did make a couple of good throws. I give it to you. He made a couple of good throws. But this is his ceiling. This is Mariota's ceiling. He's not going to get any better than this. So why he's still starting at this point is, again, head coaching situation. We have a head coach right now who is stubborn and won't get out of his own way. And the team is suffering because of that. I can already tell this defense is clocked out on DPs. They've clocked out. I saw the same thing happen when Dan Quinn was calling the plays. They've clocked out on DPs. That's why you're seeing just a lackadaisical play on defense. They're tired of running these concepts. They don't work. And DPs isn't changing anything. So they've clocked out. And I don't think it's going to get better unless you put another defensive coordinator there, like they did after Dan Quinn. When Ulbrich took over that defense changed. I mean, literally the very next week. And it continued after that. This defense right now, bro, I believe Atlanta is... first of all, let me go over the stats, man. I've kind of calmed down a little bit. Let's go over total stats first. We had more yards than they did. We had more passing yards. They had about 8 more rushing yards than we did. They had 176. We had 168 on the ground. We were averaging 6 yards per play to their 5.2. We had 18 first downs compared to their 20. Third down efficiency, we were 4 of 10. They were 5 of 12, so it was about damn near dead even right there. And they ran 5 more plays than we did. And that was kind of like on the back end when they got the ball back. So it was 55-60. We only allowed 1 sack. Again, this defense can't get to nobody. 0 sacks again. Same amount of punts, 3. Threw 1 interception, and they had the ball 6 minutes longer than we did, bro. And we still should have won this game. Yeah, man. I just at this point, man, season lost. I have no more faith. Once I lose faith in a head coach, which I just did. For the year, I've lost faith in Arthur Smith. His play calling has been unbalanced as hell. He just wants to run the ball. And a lot of that goes with the fact that you do not trust your quarterback. We didn't run this much last year with Matt Ryan. He doesn't trust Mariota. So why would you trust him with this? Man, okay. All right, so let's let's look at the Falcons defense, man. And I'm going to try and keep this under 30 minutes, man. This is just passing defense, but I'm pretty sure we're dead last there too. Atlanta is sitting. You let NFL... Ain't no way we rank. Oh, okay. They're not even giving rankings. Okay. Show me where the rankings are, man. What's going on here? All right. So NFL isn't showing any rankings, but they're showing every stat in the book, though. All right, here we go. Team defense. They don't even have Atlanta on here. How do y'all not have? Oh, they only got it top 15. Okay. Well, we're last week we were 31st, so we didn't get any better. let me just put it right there. I'll continue to look for the actual stat, because for whatever reason, yeah, let me view all. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're that's August 1st. August 1st, we were 31st. But y'all get my drift, man. We're not good defensively. Um this game, this is the game that's gonna haunt me, bro. This is the game that's gonna haunt me, because as I can recall, Arthur Smith had he had 2 games like this last year that cost us. I mean, hell, we want to be honest. Let's look at the Saints game this year. The Saints game, we were up by 17. Bro, how do you lose games like this consistently? That's why I'm starting to think this team is on the take. Because you notice Atlanta does cover damn near every week. If you look at Vegas, Atlanta usually covers every week. And now I'm just starting to believe, man, somebody is on the take. Because I would love to hear somebody on a professional level try to explain this shit. I really want to see if there's anybody that's going to take Arthur Smith's or get his back on that play call. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the Seattle Patriots Super Bowl. They were on the 2-yard line. You run it in, you win. Game over. Y'all got y'all second chip. Russell Wilson's probably walking straight into the Hall of Fame when he's done. Pete Carroll is now up there in the top echelon of NFL coaches all time. What does he decide to do? He decides to pass the ball, and it gets picked off. Game over. When you have a team that can run, you don't throw that fucking ball until 3rd down. If it's 4-down territory, I'm not throwing it unless it's 4th down. I don't want to hear Arthur Smith all week. I don't want to hear from him at all. I don't. But this definitely has me questioning him. And I've been on the record for saying, hey man, I think Arthur Smith is the coach for this job. I'm really starting to walk that back now. I can't even call this amateur. This is just stupid. Even an amateur play call, even they're gonna run the ball, bruh. This was just stupid. And for somebody who is always on the sideline raising hell about something, missed tackle, he's raising hell. Misplay, raising hell. Y'all notice that when this got picked off, y'all notice how he looked over there? Wasn't raising hell. He was sitting over there stoic. So I'm at a point, man, where this team, again, I don't honestly, I'm ready for next year already. I've always been of the mind that, this was a team in a rebuild. So 7 was the ceiling this year. 7 was the ceiling. when they get salary cap and they're able to pay players, we'll see what this team really is. But I'm starting to see some cracks right now, bruh, where even if you had the pieces, can this coach actually coach this team? Is Dean Pease going to be here next year? Because if he is, why? I'd be like that. I'd be like that preacher. They had this white preacher in this this clip. It's like 15 minutes, but in this one sermon, he's like, why? That's how I am. If you keep it Dean Pease next year, I'm gonna be like, why? I'm gonna be just like, why? Brother, 2 years he's been here, this defense has been in the basement. And he's blamed everything but his play calling. This all falls under the head coach. Marcus Mariota, still the starter. Why? Well, you know, Desmond Ridder, we've seen some great things for him, but he ain't ready. Ain't ready to do what? Ain't ready to do what? Bro, you have a quarterback right now. A quarterback. Bro, 173 was a good day. That was a good day for him. 173, bro. If you're telling me Desmond, man, look, I hate to do this to Marcus Mariota because it ain't his fault, man. But for context, if you telling me, hold on, let me go pull the numbers up. Let's just look at last week when we played the Bears. If you telling me Desmond Ridder can't throw for 131 yards, bro, why'd y'all draft him? Desmond Ridder was what, the second quarterback to come off the board or the first? Why y'all draft him? Because this is what your starting quarterback is giving you. 131 last week. The week before, 186. Okay. Still not 200. The week before that, your boy gave you 129. What are y'all doing here? This is the number one question I think Atlanta Falcons fans want to know. What we doing here? At this point, what we doing? I can't put the man. This is a weird one because you can't even put this on anybody but the head coach. You look at the defense, someone say, "Hey, defense only gave up 19 yards. They got a 3 and out when they needed it, and they gave the ball back to the offense with 5 minutes left on the clock. Defense did their job. Can't blame it on the run game. 168. I can't even put it on Mariota. This all you, Arthur Smith? Ridder was second to come off the board. Okay, cool. Jack says, I can't make an accurate assessment of the head coach for real without a true QB. And yes, Ridder should get a chance. Yeah, that's why we're all just kind of sitting here like next year they better get it right, man, or somebody head got to go on under the guillotine. What's going on, Keisha? He says, so now it's coaching. Coaching has a lot to do with it. Because one, our defense has been ass all year. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but you know, man, defense ain't really changed. He's kept Marcus Mariota in there despite damn near petitions to see Ridder. I'm wondering what really is the holdup with him, because Mariota was put here as a bookmark. He was never, to me, Mariota was never meant to be the starter for the whole year. Yeah, Fontenot. This game ain't on Fontenot. Fontenot didn't call that play. But yeah, Terry's good. And one of the reasons that, to me, why I think that Terry Fontenot is going to be a good GM is because he didn't pay that king's ransom to get Deshaun Watson. That's a sign of absolute restraint. In the final hour, when Cleveland comes in with $230 million guaranteed plus all the draft picks, and Deshaun Watson probably looked at Atlanta and said, "Hey, can y'all match that?" And Terry said, "Hey, man, I hope you have a great career in Cleveland." So not only did we keep the picks we would have given away, we got a 5th rounder for getting up off of Matt Ryan, and then we got 2 picks for Calvin Ridley, who wasn't even playing this year. Plus, we get up underneath that salary cap hell that Matt Ryan and Julio Jones put us in. So this is why I tell people this game is frustrating to me, man, because that only an idiot calls a play like that. But next year, Arthur Smith has no excuses. He has none. Dean Pease, I honestly don't believe he's going to make it to see that 3rd year. They maybe give him that year just based off of, well, hey, we were cash strapped. You didn't really have the pieces that you needed on defense, so we'll see what you can do this year. I don't even want it to go that far. Bucks just lost. Well, the Bucks lost, but I think the Panthers won, and the Saints played. I think the Saints are playing now, but they're playing San Francisco. What's going on with the Bucks, man? What's going on with the Bucks, bro? I know, but if we're mad and we're in a rebuilding phase, I can only imagine what Bucks fans feel like right now. Bucks fans are probably losing their damn mind. But yeah, man, I listen, this was a winnable game. I can't even call the defense cheeks. I can't even call them cheeks. 19, you should win that game, especially when you're on the 2-yard line with 3 downs left to go and they don't have any timeouts. I can't put that on the D. Then the D actually gave you the ball back. Your special teams then failed you. Armani says, I don't know any Bucks fans. Me neither. I don't know any legitimate Bucks fans. I'll say that. So I'm pretty sure, man, I'll get over this midweek because I ain't got no choice. We got to get ready to go against the Steelers. But I have to say, man, now, and this does a number on Arthur Smith too, because if he thought that was a good play to call, what's his play calling going to be like next week? But Arthur Smith has no excuses next year. None. Because he has the running game. Now, let me talk some positives where I put some negatives. He's got the running game going good. I mean, that can't be argued. We're third right now in rushing. That part, I mean, he's got that down to a science. So I'm going to give him credit for that. When I look at everything else, though, that's where I stop. Because the reason why Kyle Pitts, the reason why Drake London, the reason why they're really not getting anything is because who you put behind center. He's not the guy. So to stay with him, it to me is the antithesis of being stubborn. You know he's not the guy. You know from experience because he wasn't the guy in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill was. So you know he's not the guy. Put your other guy in. Tell Marcus, hey, listen, man, we enjoyed your services. We know you went out there like a soldier. You went out there like a trooper, but we're going to go with this youngin right now. For 2 reasons. One, if you don't make the playoffs with Desmond Ridder, nobody thought you was going to make it with Marcus Mariota. So that's kind of a wash. But 2, you know who you got as a quarterback now in Desmond Ridder, playing with number ones. He looked good playing with the second and third roster guys. That way you get to see what this guy is. The fan base gets to see who this guy is. And if you need to reverse course and get another QB in the draft, guess what? You've now put eyes on him. You're looking at Ridder and you're like, okay, yeah, I don't know about this kid. But this is stubbornness, what we're seeing. We're losing games based off of stubbornness. And Bucks lost. Mariota will be back. Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind Mariota's going to be playing next week because Arthur Smith's going to be like, hey, man, this loss was on me. It wasn't on the quarterback. But what I'm seeing from Mariota, I mean, he's a third-string running back, dog. That's what I'm seeing in Marcus Mariota. He's a third-string running back. I can't even say that for our team. If it came down to our team, he's like 4th. But in this league, man, you cannot win without a quality quarterback. These are just facts. There's going to come a time where that run is not working. And you need a guy that can deliver the ball. You need a guy that can stand in the pocket, deliver a strike. And to show you how hard it is, I mean, the Bucks just lost. And they got who people arguably consider is the GOAT. So we'll see, man. I've always, I think they'll put Ridder in when we're mathematically out of this thing. With the Bucks losing, we're still a half game down. I don't think Carolina winning. Well, hold on. Let me check the NFC South. Let me put on my reading glasses here. But things are getting interesting in this division. And we're not making it any easier. Okay, so right now we are 5-7. The Bucks are 5-5. The Saints are 4-7 right now as it stands. The Panthers are actually 4-8 with the win today, so they're a game behind us. If the Saints win, that would put the Saints in second place. Because they have the tiebreaker against us currently, and we would fall down to third place. That's how big that call was. That call was so big, we would have been in first place, a half game up, to if the Saints win, we're in third. Oh yeah, my bad. They are 5-6. They hadn't updated that yet. How come they didn't update this? Okay, they just updated. All right. Yeah. So they're 5-6. Epic says, my question, let me put you up here on the board, man. My question is, how the hell you lose averaging over 160 yards a game rushing? We've lost a couple games today. Not today, but this season. We've been running over everybody. Man, listen, let me tell you something. Next week, I don't want to hear anything about how good the opposing defense is, because that's all we heard today. Oh, Washington's their front two. These are probably two of the best defensive linemen in the game. 168. Atlanta's running on. We heard this at the beginning of the season. Saints hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher in like 2 years. Here comes Cordell Patterson, put a buck on him. Then we hear Tampa Bay. What happened with Tampa Bay? Same deal. Atlanta's able to run on anybody. The problem is when you need to pass. That's the problem. Man, let me tell you something. If Atlanta was averaging 250 passing, we're probably sitting here, no lie, we're probably sitting here 8-2 or something like that. Well, it wouldn't be 8-2 because we're 12 games in. I give us 9-3. If they can just if they can average 250. The passing game is downright anemic. Now you can throw some of the drop passes in there. I give you that. But bruh, it's on the QB. People are defending Marcus Mariota like this man hasn't been riding pine for the last 2 or 3 seasons. There's a reason why he's been on the bench, bruh. So what we're getting from Mariota is honestly not surprising. Game manager who can run the ball. And he had some dynamite runs this game. He had a couple runs that went for a first down. He had one that looked like it could have broke to the house, but he got tripped up. Yeah, I think that play gained like 7. Offensive line for the most part. I keep telling people this, man. You have a good offensive line if you just consistently rushing for 150. But I think a lot of the times, man, Mariota does not trust himself or what he sees when he's throwing the ball. And I mean, he said as much. The Thursday night game where he was an absolute hot mess. He said, when I try to do too much, that's when I get in trouble. So with this game, man, I'm not gonna knock the team as a whole. I can't, man. I can't knock the defense. I can't even call the defense cheeks. I'm just like, man, defense had a couple of drives where you can just tell, man, they were like, hey, look, y'all just hurry up and score on us, man. But when they had motivation to actually get a stop, they got a stop. This loss falls entirely on Arthur Smith. And it's a shame because he steals the game away from his players. These guys that go out here and fight hard as hell, man, this is a team that was only supposed to win 2 games. And you just snatched it from him. And he's done this before. He's only been here 2 years, bro. And he's done this a couple of times to this team. So, anyway, I'm gonna rub this one off, man. I'm pretty sure. Apologizing for the profanity early, but man, I was 38 hot, man. And hopefully we can bounce back against the Steelers, man. Hopefully if we're ever in this position again, somebody will go. If he calls a pass play and Mariota is still the quarterback, Mariota needs to call a timeout. He either needs to call a timeout or he needs to audible out of that thing. Because you got to know the situational football. At that point, they have no timeouts. You're literally going to score. If anything, they'll allow you to score because they want the ball back. They'd only be down a point. So all they need is a field goal. We've seen coaches do this before. They would have gave up the touchdown. just so they can get the ball back and have a chance to win it with a field goal. You just got to know the situation. And this one, I don't understand it. So anyway, man, I'm gone. I've been ranting for 45 minutes. I didn't want it to go this long, but man, games like this, buddy, you gotta let it rip. You gotta let it rip, man. So anyway, man, I appreciate everybody that listened in on the show. This is On the Mark with your boy Marcus Washington, man, where we always talk Falcons football, no matter what the situation is. And I will holler at you guys. I think we got the 1:00 game Sunday. And hopefully when we reconvene, we're talking about something a lot better, like a win. With that being said and done, I'm out, man. Y'all have yourselves an awesome week. Peace.